What is up, guys? It's a girl here, Paul Maverick, and I have here a movie review. This movie was requested by Manny. Hey, Manny. And the movie that they had requested is called Article 15. Now, Article 15 was inspired by a law that is in India. So, in Article 15 states that no one is to be discriminated against, whether it's religion, what class they're in, where they live, things like that. They are not to be turned away. If they go and file a report with the police are obligated to follow Article 15, which means no one, which means anything without prejudice, without discrimination, bigotry, and all that stuff. They are to take the report. Well, this movie was inspired by two cases that took place, two live cases. One was in 2014, and another one took place in 2016. Basically, these crimes were, about rape and, things like that. And obviously, by people who were taking Article 15 seriously, they pursued this case and they took it in. The cases, were dealt with. In this movie, this case was dealt with. So, in this movie, two girls have been kidnapped and unfortunately have been assaulted and killed. Our main character, his name is Anyan. And Anyan has been he graduated from the police academy. He's ready to do his work. And he is transferred to a village to where these girls were from. Basically, 3 girls who have been taken. When these girls are found, the report is filed, and no one's taken the case. He decides to take the case, in which, a college friend of him acts suspiciously the night of these girls' murder and things like that. Well, the bodies of the 2 girls are found. They are found in a tree, and, he goes to figure out why, what happened, because the 3rd girl is still missing. As far as they know, this 3rd girl is missing. So the movie continues, and he asks for the coroner to do an autopsy, where they find out that these girls were assaulted and killed. So when he, tells his boss, which goes by the name, I know I'm going to butcher this name, Brahmadat, who is the circle officer, I guess the head honcho, the head of police, however you want to call it. So he tells him what happens, but the dude, let's call him B. B basically prevents this, the cause of death to be released, and says these girls were cousins, they were lesbians, and they, committed suicide due to honor killings to save their dignity and so forth. He does not like it, and as the movie continues, he is then assigned to get off the case. But he says, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep on doing this because, first off, what's going on here is wrong. This is not okay. So he then finds out who was one of the, the culprits, and it's by the name of Anshu. So he gets the warrant. They raid the guy's house. He's not there. Turns out he's under the protection of B. Turns out B was there that night when these girls were assaulted and killed. And B ends up killing him to save himself because the guy was about to come out and say it. And as the movie continues, there's another guy. He starts with a J. Javi Janhan. Well, he confesses to the crime, and he ends up basically, himself, and he dies. The movie continues. It gets to a point where these girls were all kidnapped. Our boy finds, torture and rape at the scene, evidence of it. So the movie continues, and then he finds the girl, the 3rd girl. But the funny part was, I'm going to back up a bit. These girls worked as work like a construction site. Uh, and these girls were asking for a raise, a salary. They get reprimanded, because I believe the sister of one of the girls, I can't remember, the sister of one of the girls was telling him, "Hey, I think I know who did it. Go check out the construction, the head honcho, because he slapped my sister." So he goes and asks him, "Hey, I heard you slap the girl." He goes, "I only slapped the girl because they asked for a raise of salary. I did that so they know where they're placed in the world because they were lower class." He felt that, oh, you ain't getting no raise. Something about 3 rupees, a raise of 3 rupees for salary. There was that one. Basically, like I said, as the movie continues, they then get a whiff of where the girl was. The girl was still alive, bound in a pipe. They get the girls back. The guy is arrested, and he's imprisonment for an X amount of time. And Maheen, I don't know, is elected to as an official. For some odd reason, and I know these two movies are completely different, have a different concept of it, is for some odd reason, it reminds me a lot of Killer Dog, which is a Korean movie. And the only thing that it reminds me of is how the police do their jobs in that movie and how the police do their jobs in this movie. Basically, it's all for, it's all for themselves. They want the promotion, things like that. They don't care. They pick and choose what to do. So basically, it was like that. I know these movies are two completely different movies. One's from Korea, and then this movie is also an Indian movie, So I don't know. That's just me, Killer Dog. I know I'm not doing a review on Killer Dog, but that's a good movie because it has a lot of conspiracy there, a lot of messed up stuff there, and it involves a wolf dog. But in this movie, this is totally different. This movie, we're talking about Article 15. And Article 15 is inspired by the amendment, Article 15 in India, which means discrimination and prejudice is not allowed. Basically, no one can be turned away or discriminated against, no matter who they are, religion, caste, which is another way of saying class, what society, what bracket they're in, and so forth. Here in America, we have that too. Unfortunately, like everywhere else in the world, no matter where you are, discrimination and prejudice and racism still exists. Sad but true, but the only way to not eradicate it, but to move forward is ourselves to, understand one another, because all we have is each other, and our mission is to look after one another. And that's what this guy did. That's what our hero Anyan did. He looked past, he was doing his job because an officer of the job is to serve and protect and uphold the law and enforce the law. And that's exactly what he did. He saw something was wrong. He knew something was wrong, and being threatened and constantly, even being taken off the case, suspended, he goes, I'm not going to stop because this is my job. And that's what I loved about this character. And he's an inspiration. He's symbolizing how everyone else out here, everyone in the world, they take their job and they take it seriously. This is my job. I'm not going to discriminate anyone, because not only is it the right thing to do, it is also what you should do. You are obligated by your job. You are obligated and responsible. If you know you need to do something, if you see something, hear something, and you do something about it, not only are you doing the right thing and hopefully, being a part of change, but also you are dividing yourself from a system that is allowing a system that is hurtful, harmful, uncool, unfair to continue. That is happening. You divided yourself from being an enabler, a facilitator, because facilitation is participation. Facilitation is just as bad as participation because it is participation. Like with me, I've seen so many different things and I've reported it. Even though nothing was done about it, at least I can say, I saw something, I did the right thing, which I took a step back because I did not want to be a part of a system that enables a system that is unfair, uncool, hurtful, you know, to continue, you know. And that's what, you know, Anyan did. Anyan did. He, you know, he refused to be a part of that system. He refused to be those corrupted cops. He did what he did. And all these people were cops who thought that they, not only did they thought that they had the badge and get away with it, you know, do whatever you want and get away with it, but also they thought because they were higher up and these girls were little, no, these were beneath them, no one would care. The whole town wanted justice for these girls. They wanted a speedy trial. They wanted this crime. They wanted these guys' asses nailed to the ground, and they did. Some did cowardly stuff, and the others got what that's coming to them. So this was an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it because that's what I like to see, you know, inspired by true events, you know, because all these characters symbolize, honor, corruptibility, things like that. So this was a good movie. Manny, thank you so much for requesting Article 15. I really did like it. So, and this movie was released back in 2019. Just in case if you're wondering when this movie was released, it was released back in 2019 based on true events that took place in 2014 and 2016. Thank you again, Manny. If you guys want to watch this movie, go ahead. I recommend it because it was a good movie. I've always liked characters who will stop at nothing to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And you kind of see who's honorable and who's not. Very noble, very honorable. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day. That's going to be it for me, guys. So, you guys be safe out there. And, like I said, have a wonderful day, okay? Bye.